Hello everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun and today I'm here to talk about the Into the Spider-Verse 2 teaser. Well, they call it a first look. It was kind of a teaser though. It was kind of a teaser, kind of a first look, kind of a combination of both. This was a weird one because this one's weird because while it's great to see that this is in the works, this is coming, they said it's coming out sometime in October 2022, so about 11 months from now, so there's a ways to wait before it officially comes out. But they gave us a little scene, but they gave us two scenes, basically. Excuse me. One is the scene of Miles. If you watch Into the Spider-Verse, you know right at the end, there's a portal that opens up, and clearly Gwen's talking to Miles, and we're just like, okay, well, this is leading to something. Also, this is leading to something, but we really don't see what happens. The movie just kind of wraps up, and we're just like, oh, cool, we'll see what happens. They actually give us the immediate scene of what happens next, which is Gwen comes through the portal, lands on his bed, they're talking, whatnot. They picked it right up with their friendship / romance, probably, because it does feel like it's going that direction. They played that up a bit, and that was pretty much about it. They played it up a bit. It was great seeing in this world. But the thing that kind of got my attention is how long is, I don't know about you, but when I had saw that scene initially at the end of Into the Spider-Verse, it didn't feel like it took place that much longer. It felt like this was maybe a month or two, at tops later, maybe some time had passed, but not years. But Miles and someone pointed out to me, Gwen both look way older. Not way older, but just older. Miles, look at them. Is Miles taller to me? Is she slightly taller to me? Are they bigger to me? And I'm like, I think, how much time has passed? Because I don't remember. I don't remember Miles looking that tall. I'm like, bro, he looks older to me, at least for the visually. But anyways, it was just cool just seeing this, cool having that out there, cool just getting the, confirmation that this is happening. I mean, we've already known this was happening, but it's just cool getting more confirmation that it's happening. They had a hell of a team on it, including one of the guys who helped one of the directors on, writers / directors on Soul. He's working on this, so that's amazing. They got the crew that they had working on the last one, plus him. So, and clearly this is going to be a bigger deal. While the last one was about characters being stuck in Miles' universe and him trying to get them back, this one, with the title Across the Spider-Verse, clearly means that Miles will have to go into other realities as they showed in the imagery. It's great seeing this art style. This art style's so cool and unique. The comic booky art style of it all. Just the way it looks, comic book panels that are brought to life. They're just given 3D dimension. It's just amazing. I've always, Into Spider-Verse is, I don't think it's an argument to be made. Into the Spider-Verse, I think Into the Spider-Verse is hands down the best Spider-Man thing ever. I think it's the greatest representation of Spider-Man that there is. And you know how hardcore I am as an MCU fan, but I'm not afraid to tell you that I believe Into the Spider-Verse is the best Spider-Man thing ever created. Not to mention, I'm talking about in terms of TV show, movie, and whatnot. Not to mention, there's an argument to be made that it may be one of the greatest, it may be the top 5 greatest comic book films ever made. Maybe even one, depending on how you look at it. I mean, just depending on how you're fucking, grading these things. Into the Spider-Verse is a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece in animation. It's a masterpiece in storytelling. It's a masterpiece in and just the history of Spider-Man. It's you know what it's like, because it shows so much love to the history of the character, the history of Spider-Man, while telling a beautiful story at the same time. It's a lot like the Lego Batman movie, except the Lego Batman movie is a little too ridiculous. Even though I love the Lego Batman movie, I gotta tell you guys, I love that movie, and I love that, and it did actually funny. The Lego Batman movie did do a lot of things like Into the Spider-Verse. It just was over the top and ridiculous, while this is great storytelling, and I'm happy to see that they're coming back. Oscar Isaac coming back to voice Spider-Man 2099. We got this little brief sequence with Miles swinging through a city, but I can't tell if the city's supposed to look like that or if it's just it's not done yet. The scene they were showing us isn't done yet. They haven't really filled it in yet. So who knows? But you know, Spider-Man 2099 catches him and they go through a portal. We don't have any news about the villain. I don't believe we have any news about the villain. And like really that's about it. Like there's not a lot to get out of this footage. They're not like they said a lot. Like literally the one sequence, this is something that you thought like you went, yeah, you figured that's how it would go. Him talking to Gwen and whatnot, and you know maybe Gwen came to recruit him for whatever they're about to go, what journey they're about to go on. We really don't. They didn't show anything. Like not that they didn't show anything. They didn't show anything surprising. Nothing in this footage was surprising. Nothing in this footage was like, oh my god, what? It was like, yeah, okay. You know what I mean? It was like, all right. And this is just a hell of a week for Spider-Man. Sony in particular, because they're just releasing a lot of shit. They released a Morbius thing. The Spider-Man movie's coming out in a couple weeks. You got this. They released this little teaser for this. I mean, hey, Spider-Man. Now, I am curious how this film will do. Because something that people don't talk about, as much as I'm glowing up this film, it did not make a lot of money. It made enough money to not be considered a bomb, but considering how good it is, how great it is, and considering how some other animated features are doing, it did pretty poorly. Especially when you have like Toy Story coming out making $1 billion and shit like that. And you got other animated films coming out making over $600 million. And that movie, Into the Spider-Verse, I think made like 400 something. Which isn't bad, but it's not great either. It's not like top tier Disney Pixar movie shit, you know what I mean? So I do feel bad for it on that front, you know. But, you know, hopefully it makes more money this time. I don't know, because COVID, I mean, granted, COVID might be, you know, maybe not as bad by the time October comes back around. So, I mean, who knows? Who knows? All we can do is hope for the best, because the original Into Spider-Verse is a masterpiece. They got a lot of the same people to come back to do this one, even though I don't know if Lord and Miller, the guys who directed this, are actually directed the original one. I don't know if they're actually directing this one. I think they're just producers on this one. Correct me if I'm wrong. That never really goes well, by the way. Like, I can't really think of too many times that people directed something and it was great, and then it went, oh yeah, we'll just produce the next one. We'll just be like working as producers on the next one, and then the next one turned out great too. I ain't never seen it. Every time someone's great works on something and they become a producer on the next film, it sucks ass because they're not working on it. So I don't know. Maybe correct me in the comment section. I think Lord and Miller are not actually directing this one. I don't know. By the way, Lord and Miller supposed to direct a Han Solo film. I'm highly upset about that. Anyways, I'm excited for this. Like I said, I hope it does better this time around because it really didn't get any notoriety. Really, it didn't get any notoriety until the Oscars came around and it won. But you know, I mean, granted, it gets to be one of the only comic book films to win one of the only comic book films to win an Oscar. So that's something for you. But anyways, that is my thoughts on Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I think it's Across the Spider-Verse. I don't think it's Across the Multiverse. I don't know. I'll look at the fucking image I end up putting up and be like, oh, yeah, it was that. But I think it's Across the Spider-Verse. But Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, what did you guys think of the footage? Does it make you more excited? Can you not wait to see who the villain is? I can't wait to see who the villain is. I can't wait to see who the characters they introduce. I know they're in the OG version, they were debating having Toby, Andrew, and Tom actually voice characters in it. So maybe they'll still do it. Who knows? Anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.